Hello, Solomon. I was wondering if you have a message for those of us who are trying to navigate this collective change that we're experiencing now.
As the collective begins to move into a more desirable direction, those of you who are sitting on the cusp, that are experiencing the, let's say, turbulence firsthand because you're at the cusp, you're in the eye of the storm, to learn how to navigate through those waters with more clarity and more insight. And how do you do this? You do this by simply being aware of the change that is occurring. Rather than overcomplicating things, rather than overthinking things, allow your hearts to direct your next move. Allow your hearts to be receiving of the vibrations that are happening on your planet. Sometimes this will create discomfort. Sometimes this will be saddening. Sometimes this will be frustrating. Sometimes it'll be irritating. But to be reminded that these are all aspects of being a human being, and it is the irritations and the frustrations and the maddening events that will catapult you into a more desirable direction, because otherwise, at this point in your evolution, you would be stagnant. You would just sit as though nothing needs to change. But for many of you, you are at a point of recognition where things do need to change in order to bring forth a more desired planet, a more desired existence, a more unified experience of being a collective being. So as you move away from the idea of individualization, where you are the singular being, and moving into the idea that you are part of a collective, understanding that it is the collective that is representing to you how you are really feeling inside, is the opportunity for change. So rather than focusing on those around you, focus on what's inside you. And by focusing on what's inside you, you will then be in communion with those outside of you. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. And in this regard to contributing to the collective change, many of us feel that we aren't doing enough. What would you say to people who may be struggling with this idea?
This is something that all of you feel.
Okay.
But it all comes down to the doubt associated with your importance. And your importance is that you are all of creation. This is an idea that stretches far beyond the confines of the logical brain. Therefore, it is logical to think that you could be doing more, that you're not enough. But it's not logical to think that somebody else beside you is doing more, is being more, is accomplishing more. But many of you fall into this trap. From the heart-based center of who you are, from the soul-based center of who you are, all you need to do is be who you are. So how do you be who you are? You come back to a clear understanding of what's important to you. You let go of all those relinquishing, negative, lingering beliefs about who you are and reestablish a clearer relationship with your entire being. That's your physical being, that's your mental being, that's your emotional being, that's your spiritual being. Who are you? What are you all about? What's important to you? What do you love to do? What don't you like to do? Allowing yourself to answer those questions for you, not necessarily abiding by all the beliefs that have been portrayed onto you by society as a whole from the time that you came into this world. That's all you need to do, is come back to the truth of who you are. Come back to the truth of who you are. And when you come back to the truth of who you are, you come back into the state of authenticity, you come back into the state of empowerment, and you from that place just know, from a deep level of knowing, that you are, as Jackie said, limitless. You are an expanded soul. You are pure love. There's no need to question anything else. But to do that, it means removing those layers, stripping down all of the beliefs that you have come to believe are you. Yes?
Absolutely.